Hello, everybody. Today you're tuning into another exciting episode of Between the Hunt, Episode 7. Today, Horse and Deadman go over every new and incredible addition that is coming to Hunt Showdown 1896 in the Post Malone Circus event, the biggest event to date, as well as discussing some community sentiments and more. Sit back, relax, subscribe to support the Hunt Thoughts pace, and stay blessed. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Howdy. Welcome back to Hunter's Lodge and Between the Hunt. This is Crytek's #1 shill, joined today by my co-host, Deadman.
Oh, wait, you just said that to start the podcast, bro. You broke me too early.
Dude. The amount of comments I've had. Crytek's #1 dick sucker, Crytek's #1 shill, and then I released the video criticizing the game for performance issues, and they're like, "This guy's sus as fuck. This guy played us for views." Like, can a man change his mind when he's introduced to news?
New
information.
And that's the thing, is that, like, I also had a friend who she played pretty regularly during the event, and the other night she had to stop playing because there were some issues that she didn't have during the event. So I don't know, some broke.
Literally same as me, man. No issues during the event. Everybody said, "Oh, you're lying. I had these issues during the event." I'm like, "That's crazy. Good. Like, sucks to be you. I didn't, and now I am."
Yeah, no, and it does suck. Like, it does suck when people have those issues, but, like, that's the thing, is that, like, if you're speaking on your experience alone, but you've also, on occasion, like I have admitted that the game is in a kind of a wacky spot right now because of and you and I call it early access 2.0. But
correct, we're like the only people that actually like to refer to this as early access. I think it genuinely is early access again.
Yeah, no, and again, I think with all of the experience that the Hunt team has, that it'll get resolved a hell of a lot quicker than the original early access, because even 1.0 wasn't, like, looking back at it, it was a good game. Like, there's a reason I kept playing it. I kept coming back. Kept coming in back.
Updates are pretty slow back then, though. Now they're reasonably fast. Man,
when I tell you, like, there's always that joke in every community. Back in my day, no, literally back in my day, I don't remember there being a consistent frequency of updates.
Right.
Like, I don't even think we got hot fixes back in the day. I think we literally just got patches. Like, if something was broken, it would be broken in the game for way longer than what people are talking about now. And again, I also remember a time when we didn't have all of the movement options we have now. So, man, like, I am grateful that this game works most of the time.
Well, if you've joined us today, you probably know what's going on in the community right now. It's very exciting. The Post Malone's Murder Circus event is coming out very shortly. It'll be coming out on the 12th in 4 days, and we're both pretty fucking excited about it. I think it's going to be, like they said, the biggest event they've ever done. This is actually going to be an event instead of feeling like a season, and we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about all the new stuff coming, what we're looking forward to, and what we're maybe a little worried about, how it compares to previous events so far, all that stuff. So if you were looking, we'll still have a lore segment as always, but if you were looking forward to something else, this might not be the episode for you. We're going to be talking about the event heavily today. Just there isn't really a lot of other stuff to talk about, if I'm being honest. So I'll leave timestamps on the timeline per usual, so you can jump around a little bit and get to what you want to hear about. And as always, thank you for watching. But I suppose we'll start with our first topic, which is obviously Post Malone's Murder Circus. They put out a dev video explaining everything that is getting added to the game. Well, nearly everything coming to the game in the event. They said that that's all for now. There might be some more little details here and there, but generally everything was included in that video, which I closed for some reason because I'm a dumbass. I need to pull that video back up. Don't judge me, bruh.
I'm judging the shit out of you, bruh.
Number 12, 20.
Man.
Okay, so
I will tell you, when I watched that video, like, I saw it in my YouTube feed and I clicked on it so damn fast.
Yep.
And mainly because I was like, all right, what are we actually doing this round? And let me tell you the excitement I had. I wasn't even talking to nobody. I wasn't hanging out with nobody. I was like, holy fuck. I was audibly saying shit. And I usually when I'm by myself, I don't do that unless I'm like really feeling something. Man.
Yeah, you were live reacting to it.
Yeah, yeah, as the kids say.
Yeah, man, we're not that old, bro. Come on.
Bro, I'm 35. What the fuck?
Bro, chatter, we cooked.
I was about to say, I think you're like 10 years younger than me.
Literally 10 years younger than you. Yeah, you're old as fuck. You're dying, dead man. You're old.
No, I've. Why do you think my name's Deadman? I'm just fucking. Anyway.
Okay, so for those who have been completely living under a rock lately, the developer video where our wonderful Dennis came out to tell us about all the new stuff coming during this event. So, firstly, the big thing, they are adding temporary compounds to sections of every map available. Speaking of which, we are getting another map back. Which map are we getting, Deadman?
Oh, we're getting Lawson, and I hope it's so much better.
Lawson's a good map. They're all good maps.
So Lawson's a good map, but so here's the thing. Lawson came out like shortly after 1.0 or with 1.0. I don't remember explicitly. Like, I don't remember the timeline. I know it was very quick, and we had the two maps. Lawson could be really fucking painful sometimes. And they even admitted it in one of their like dev things that Lawson, out of the now 4 maps, it had the most pain points. Do I love Lawson? Absolutely. I can't tell you how many. Like my best solo melee necro was in Lawson Station. I had, I want to say it was like 13 kills, and I only had the katana. And it was a fucking slugfest. So I have great memories on Lawson.
Dude, there's so many compounds on Lawson that I love. Lawson Station is up there. And in Lawson Station is important in the lore, too. It gets referenced in Mammon's Gulch. We saw that. There's there's pictures of it. So it's good to see that the compounds do end up interacting in a sense.
Yeah, because the whole thing is, like, and people talk about, like, and I even, some other content creators I follow, were kind of like, please just blow up prison. Like, just destroy it. Like, but I love prison. I genuinely love prison.
Prison is meant to be the cock and ball torture compound. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be difficult for everybody involved.
Well, and the thing I like about prison is that is one of the more vertical compounds in early hunt.
Yeah,
like
is.
Between that and
you got 3 floors, bro. You got 3 floors. That's so rare back then.
Yeah, and then that and Fort were always like my favorite because like being able to run around. One of the best clutches I had was on Fort Karmic, and it was a 7-minute fight. Like, or something like that. Like my friend has a clip, and she was like, "I'm gonna have to upload this to YouTube because this is 7 minutes long. I can't clip this." And it's me and basically 3 people fighting it out, and it was the perfect example of how they could do verticality, and that I love that because we saw it in Lawson so early. I love seeing all of the craziness that Mammon's had now because of this. So, I don't know. Like, again, it had a lot of pain points, but ultimately it's a good map. Like,
so speaking of the pain points, hopefully the new circus compound on Lawson is not a pain point. They are adding a circus compound in several unique locations across all the maps we have, and they are going to randomly pop up there in your matches.
Absolutely.
They are, obviously, when you look at the preview footage, they don't look like the biggest compound ever, right? They couldn't go that crazy. They're pretty small, but it's bigger than a wagon. So, and there's some excitingly fun stuff in there. There's some thematic booths you can go to. There's the unique, essentially event mobs. There's some clowns in there that you can take down, and if you take down the clowns, you get extra event tokens. That's funny as hell. Ursa Mortis, the new AI that is not a boss. It is essentially a special AI. It is it's between like the difficulty and strength of, say, an immolator versus an actual bounty target. It's between them. It's not a wild target quite. It's not a full-on bounty target. It's just a special AI that patrols the circus and defends it. It can smell bleeding hunters, so if you're bleeding, it'll get enraged and sprint at you. And it is horrifying looking. It is definitely, it is scuffed as fuck, and it is so perfect for a circus freak show in 1896.
And yeah, and actually I did look at something, because I would actually say it's closer to a meathead, probably.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, a meathead is basically butcher anyway. But also, I would also say it's closer to a meathead because if it's running off of blood the way that meathead runs off of the poison, that's gonna be fun.
Imagine you hit somebody with Dum Dum in the circus, and all of a sudden Ursa Mortis just fucking comes sprinting out of the woodwork and kills them.
Oh,
and then
like Kool-Aid Man's the tent.
Dude, like you start cry laughing, dude. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
It'd be so funny. And Dum Dum's easier to do than poisoning somebody, so that's actually going to be a possibility.
Oh yeah, I very much agree.
So, in your surrounding booths, you've got some purchasable crates like they had before. You could get an explosives crate, a gun crate, etc., so an ammo crate. There's also the unique David Fifield fortune teller machine, which is one of the funnier things they've added. That's at every wagon, actually. So you can exchange your pledge marks to get random stuff. It is RNG. You could get a trait. You could get a random weapon, I believe. You could probably get really anything, but it's completely random out of a pool of stuff, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty fun. That's going to be a huge pledge mark sink for a lot of people.
Yeah, because speaking of which, we have 9 pledge marks now.
Yeah, 9 pledge marks, more ways to get pledge marks, including looting hunters. If you loot a hunter, you get to steal their pledge marks, which is hilarious.
Bro, I'm gonna be in everybody's pockets. Give me your shit. No, but for real, like, I hardcore love this. I was talking about Serpent Moon on the other cast, and this is the mechanic from Serpent Moon that a lot of hunt players wanted to come back in some fashion. Not necessarily the same way, but I'm glad it's this way. Because, you know, when you kill a hunter, their shit, like, when you wipe a team, their shit's dead anyway, right? Like, it's not like the pledge marks are going to you post-mortem, unless you have death cheat. But that will mean that you have to be a little bit more careful with your looting in a team. You can't be sitting there, you know, yoinking pledge marks from your teammates, basically.
And so, for these pledge marks, not only can you get your David Fifield fortune-telling machine RNG goodies, you can also open up the crates, as mentioned before. But there's also new pledges. So, you can go over to a wagon. Actually, it's not even at wagons. They're scattered around. Well, wagons, yes, but they're also scattered around the map, from what I understand, in different areas as well. There's the pledge boxes. We have 3 new troops, essentially, like circus troops that you can pledge to. So there's Trick Shooter, which gives you Blade Mancer, which allows you to pick up discarded blades, arrows, etc. in Darksight. And if they're stuck in something, you can pull them out of stuff with Darksight, which is hilarious. You can kill somebody by hitting them with an arrow and then pulling the arrow out in Darksight.
You want to know how menacing I'm going to be in the fucking, like, my bow build is going to get crazier. Like, bow and crossbow, 100%. I'm going to have so much fun with
it. It is going to be wild. And then the second trait for Trick Shooter is Crack Shot. They didn't explain it at all. But basically, it offers you reduced shoulder spread and reduced sway and ADS with certain weapons. I'm assuming it's pistols. I have no clue what weapons are included. They did not tell us. But in the icon, it is somebody making a pistol with their hand. So I would assume it's probably pistols.
Yeah, and I mean, if some of the compact weapons get it too, ultimately, if any of the weapons get it, and they're, like, bigger than a pistol or something like that, I don't think I'm going to be that upset about it, because, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody's going to shoot you, it doesn't matter if there's going to be sway or not. I imagine people who have been playing a long time might find this by not having sway will fuck up their shots more than not because they're so used to the sway. But we'll have to see. I don't think
that one's going to be the most popular by any margin. That's just going to be a nice little crutch trait for newer players, maybe, who want less sway so they can control a little easier. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be bad. Like, I don't think there's any cause for concern as of right now.
I think as a whole, they greatly dumbed down the power of the packs, or the troops, I guess now they're called, which is fine. Because we shouldn't have one that completely fundamentally alters the state of hunt for a month while the others are useless. So, like, Death Chief.
I agree.
So this is fun.
Yeah. Well, not even Death Chief. Fucking Surefoot was.
Yep, Surefoot was the most picked trait. So, the most picked packed.
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
we also have the Mystic Pact, which is hilarious, by the way. This one's really fun.
I'm gonna love that one.
No, the first troop trait you get is Poltergeist, which allows you to do stuff like open doors, activate elevators, open windows in Darksight, including from Beetle View, by the way. So with Poltergeist, you can finally open doors as a beetle. You don't have to go open the door. It's hilarious. This is gonna be so much fun, dude.
You know what I thought? You know what I just thought about while you were sitting there explaining that?
Yep.
Because I thought about probably what everyone else thought about, like opening up a door on the other side of the compound to throw people off. They're still going to hear Darksight, so I wonder how far it's going to be. But I really just thought about it. What if some motherfucker opens a window trying to cook a grenade and you close the window on them as they're throwing it?
Oh my god.
You're just like, hey, fuck them shutters.
Yeah. Well, remember, Darksight, the main trigger that you hear is when you activate it. It goes, brrr. So if you activate the Darksight from further away and then approach a door, it's risky as hell because you can't see dick and they're going to shoot you maybe. But if they don't shoot you, that's a good way to get a sneaky door open maybe.
Yeah. Well, and if you really listen, it does depend on what's going on. Typically over a boss banish, you won't hear it. So that might be the best time to use it as far as like sound coverage. But normally I can hear when somebody's in Darksight. Like if they're just sitting there in Darksight, I can hear them.
Yeah.
I tracked a fucking reptilian in the tall grass in DeSalle. I think because he was using a beetle in the middle of a fight, which any new kids don't do that. If you're in a 1v1 fight with somebody, do not beetle unless you are being an absolute mad lad. Then you do whatever you want. But
yeah. I think
I walked up to some poor bastard and cracked his temple open.
Yeah. I think that Poltergeist will be a lot stronger in low elo, low MMR. You poor 6-star bastards. I do not envy you. This is going to be probably a useless trait in your MMR. You're just gonna go, a guy went into Darksight and a door opened? I know what happened.
Well, and the other thing, though, and I don't think anyone's really talked about this, you know how, like, you kind of have to do risky business to close a door?
Yeah.
To, like, res your teammate?
Right.
So that would actually, it'll still have its use, I think.
That is actually, you know what, Deadman? You're cooking. Because I had in my video where I'm like, oh, if you have an open door, shoot a choke arrow into it, or throw a choke bomb, and then res while the site is blocked. But you could just close it with Poltergeist for free and safely.
Yeah,
that is okay. You know what? You sold me. I love this. It doesn't take much, folks. But your secondary trait for only one pledge mark is Blast Sense. You know, they brought Blast Sense back. They gave it a new icon. I'm fine with this. They like to bring something back from previous events, and Blast Sense is probably one of the fine ones they could have brought back. It's pretty underwhelming for me. You don't get the second half of Blast Sense from the previous event, right? Where you got to see people bleeding through walls. You don't get that. You just have the loud shots.
Well, no, that was Pain Sense.
Right, but they were attached to the same pact.
Yeah.
So it was
Pain Sense is still in the game. The thing that it can't do anymore is track people who are out of stamina, which is fucking huge. Like, that was crazy. If Surefoot wasn't as strong as it was, I would have probably used the blast sense back.
Yeah.
100%. Just to track people.
And then our last pact, our Post Malone pact, the Ringmaster. Well, the last troop. It offers you a hilarious trait, by the way. Shadow Crush is your free trait. It essentially allows you to blow up the brains of mobs in Darksight. You just get to fucking Warhammer 40k Dark Tide them. You get the Psyker Brain Blast them, and it's hilarious. It also does damage to targets, to bounty targets as well. I'm curious to see how much damage it does, because if it's significant, this could be a huge trait just for boss rushing alone.
Right. Well, and the thing because again, I've heard some echoes about this too. The thing I am also interested about is how much damage does it do, and is it continuous while you're in Darksight, or do you have to do a wind up time and then do essentially Darksight attacks, right?
Right. I assume it's gonna be literally like the Brain Blast in Darktide, where you charge up a bar and then Brain Blast the end, and then the bar empties and you have to charge it up again. But you could just keep doing that repeatedly. I'm assuming it would be like that.
Yeah, I'm assuming it'll be like that too. And again, I am curious. So I'm sure it's gonna one shot grunts, but
oh yeah, it'll just probably be like 3 or 4 on a meathead. Like
yeah, because essentially what this means is that this is the other half of what Shadow Leap used to be on meatheads.
Yep.
I know you could still do other shit on Shadow Leap, but and I also wonder how long the cast time is. And like, is it more worth it to do it on some of the more problematic AI, like the Hive specifically is actually what I was thinking of, because honestly, I don't even think about armoreds. Immolators, being able to blow up immolators from a distance is nice.
Yeah.
So I could see that. And again, if it does work on bosses, which it sounds like it does based on the wording, I don't know. I need to know how much damage it does.
Yeah.
Because we already have really strong options to defeat bosses, but that takes up a tool slot or a consumable slot.
Right. So
we don't need a trait basically being like, oh well, we could take this and just avoid that entirely. So we'll see. I am interested to try it out. This will probably be the first pact in years, or since it got introduced, I think, that I'll want to play and fuck with all 3.
Yep. No, I want to try all 3 because what I think is probably going to make the Ringmaster Pact the most popular, bar none, is its second trait, Corpse Seer. Grants you a second of Darksight boost when looting a hunter. Oh my god. You don't need a token. You could get this at the beginning of the game. If you down a hunter and you loot them, you get a second of Darksight boost, and I assume that stacks with each other as you all the way up to 5 seconds max like usual, which is crazy, dude. Imagine an entire team pulling up to a compound. They've all been fighting and looting. They all have 5 seconds of Darksight to use against you as you're trying to defend this compound. Insane. It's going to completely change the dynamic of hunt.
Right.
I think this is bar none going to be the most popular just because of that alone, but you could make an argument for any of them being popular, but I think this is going to be the one.
The thing is with this trait, imagine that scenario where you're the team that got wiped, or you just wiped a team. Your whole team gets 3 seconds of Darksight. Say you're playing trios. There is another trio, one compound, like you guys gaining Darksight, because that is a thing on this trait. You are marked on the map for hey, this is where somebody gained Darksight, and
I didn't know that was part of it.
That is part of it, and because it's specifically to balance that pact out. And that's a good balance. That's an amazing balance. Because typically, let's be real, anytime there was potential for Darksight on the map, you always knew XYZ had the bounty, meaning they had Darksight. So I think what they went into this thinking is that, okay, we want to give hunters a way to get Darksight outside of the boss battles, which is cool. But we've always marked that on the map. How can we do that this time? Oh, we'll just mark the dead body there, which also
yeah, you're right. It just leaves this like little butthole, this little like void on the fucking map. It's crazy.
And the interesting thing is, if you have Vulture or anything like that, you could just walk over there after the game's over and just fucking get in them pockets. Like, it's actually an interesting way to kind of keep. I think the funny thing is, we've all been talking about 2D replay and having that. This is, I think, stepping in that direction. Like, hey, we're slowly making our way to that.
I could see it.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Like, let's go, bro. Like, I have no issue with that pact. And then on top of that, the other new thing, because that was the last pact, right?
Yes. Yep.
So one of the other new things that they announced with this one was the fact that we can turn on and off Darksight at will.
Quality of life at its finest.
Bro, I didn't even know I wanted that shit.
So, for the record, for those of you who are, like, just to make this completely clear on what the hell we're talking about, normally when you have Darksight, you can only tap E very quickly to try and see lightning or where a clue is, whatever. If you hold it for too long, you automatically burn a second of your Darksight without wanting to. God forbid you try to necro somebody, you're going to burn all your seconds against your will. Now, unless you can opt out, there is a setting to opt out for it, but now by default, you have to press a button to actually activate the Darksight. Activate your wall hacks while you're in Darksight. You have to press a button. So you actually have the ability to say necro somebody without wasting all your precious time, which is crazy, dude.
And actually, this will open up some advanced tactics in the sense of, because I have to see how it works. Because when you have a token, you have instinct, and I'm wondering if you have instinct while not using Darksight.
Oh, you're right.
So that would actually be some interesting ways to use that. Like, it's like, I have 5 seconds where we have to kind of cross map. Let me use instinct for a while. Then if I get like an orange ping, then I'll activate Darksight, see exactly where they are, and then do it. It opens up more tactics for the team that has been marked on the map for the entire fucking match.
You're not wrong.
And that's the thing, is that is one thing about this game, as much as some people don't want to believe it. I'm not saying everybody, but some people don't want to believe it, that in a nutshell, you're at a disadvantage if you have the bounty and you haven't killed everybody. Everybody else can mark you easily. And now with the unlimited headshot range, snipers could, and I'm saying could, not that they do, some do, I'm sure, but you're, like I said, you're at a severe disadvantage, and you're still at a severe disadvantage even with this upgrade, but I think it's fine. I think it's a fun addition if that's how it works. I don't know if you have to use all of your points to get instinct, but we'll see. I'm just interested for the potential, like, we'll say, tactical implications behind being able to do that.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And speaking of quality of life, I'm gonna be lowering yours with the new weapon, the new Black Ops 2 Zombies wall buy they added. Only available in this event, never again, the Shredder. It is literally a buzzsaw launcher.
Bruh, I'm gonna get 5 pledge marks and immediately beeline for that fucking tent.
Yep, there's only one on every map. Only one person can get it unless you loot it off their body. It has saw blades, and it has explosive saw blades. And they bounce off of walls.
I am going to relive my Unreal Tournament 99 days with this fucking saw launcher.
Not only do they bounce off of walls, if you're lucky enough, some of the blades have runes etched onto them, which will heat seek onto nearby targets, like enemy hunters, mobs, etc. When they bounce off a wall, they'll heat seek to them.
Well, and one thing people will think of when you say heat seek is that it's like 1-to-1 tracking. No, it just goes in the direction. You still have the ability to move out of the way. Also, from everything that I've been seeing, there is only 6 blades in that weapon, and like
For each type. Yep.
yeah, like for both types. And I don't know, because we don't know if the weapon can be resupplied.
Right, like from a special ammo crate.
Yeah, and even if you only get 2 back, that's still kind of strong, but it's not so strong. I feel like, because to me, what this feels like? This feels like a nitro.
Yep.
But goofy, and maybe not able to kill him one hit depending on where you hit him. Because nitro, you could shoot him in the big fucking toe and they'll die, but that's because it does 364 damage. However,
man, I just made myself sad. You know what I just thought of that, man? Fuck. I was gonna try and escape with a shredder, right? And just keep it in my inventory and never use it, so I could always have one just sitting in there to look at. And now I could never prestige, because if I prestige, it'll go bye-bye. So I can't do that. I'm sad.
Yeah, though I think they'll remove it from inventory. They've actually done that before.
Really?
Yeah, there was a horrendous, and I mean horrendous, probably the most game-breaking bug we ever had, but people didn't really do it out of respect, but to stop the people that were doing it, they removed the Lamat for a little while. You could still use ones that were in your inventory, but what the bug was is that basically you would flip back and forth while you had slugs in the underbarrel.
Yep.
And there was a certain point that it confused the code and confused the game and gave your Lamat bullets the damage of a slug.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was busted. They had to deactivate the Lamat for a while. So
well, we'll see. But I'm excited for it, and it's gonna be fun. I like that it's a Black Ops Zombies walleye. You can only get one per map. You gotta escape with it if you really want to keep it. It's gonna be fun, and I don't think it's gonna be broken. Obviously, the blades are pretty fast if you look at the video, but it's not like they're gonna actually be heat-seeking. It just goes in the direction of a target, so
right,
you can still move out of the way.
Yeah, no, and I think what I think ultimately, and it's hilarious because it's circus themed. I think they really are just going for fun this time. They want people to have fun. They want it to be like a good time. Like they're like, hey, this really ridiculous weapon that a portion of the community has wanted because they want ridiculous weapons. The saw blade launcher is only going to be here for the event, but we're going to be in the event until February. So have fun with it. Have a good time. And if, ultimately there are going to be some people, oh, this isn't for me. I saw plenty of Post Malone uninstalled so fast. And I was just like, yeah, and I bet you play a bunch of other games with a bunch of other fucking crossovers. So shut your damn mouth. But again, I think this will be arguably, until I actually get my hands on the event, but just from previews, because I loved the Racha event. I loved a lot of the other events. This is the most excited I have been for an event. Like, easily. Because it just looks like fun. It looks like we're having fun with the world that we're in. And some people complain about the tone, and I can agree with that. Like, if it's not, like, if circuses aren't really your tone, cool. I'm not really, big on circus theming either. I do think, kind of Psycho and whatever circuses can be really good for, horror. And Hunt is technically a horror game.
Yep.
So I'm here for it. But the one thing I've remembered is that this game still takes place in America. And if anything was to be said about the Mammon's Gulch lore drop, even in times of absolute strife and just terrible bullshit, somebody will find a way to make a buck. And of course, this freak show surface is here to make a buck, and they are playing it off of the infection, and that is 100% an American fucking thing to do. And
it's so funny.
And people don't have to agree with me, but that's the thing, is that for me, it makes sense. There's so many terrible horror movies that that it's basically a corporation profiting off of a terrible event that's ongoing, right? Look at Resident Evil. Like, just as an example, like you had a fucking corporation that was behind the destruction of an entire city, like, and they still profited off of it. Like, they're still profiting off of it.
We
So it's like,
yeah, the fucking Resident Evil notes you find. We genetically modified a super weapon that could kill anything. Note 2, it escaped.
shit. But that's what I mean, is that, like, it's silly to think, because, you know, we play as hunters that are morally ambiguous on their best days, right? There are good hunters in there, there are good people in there, but every person in Hunt Showdown, in the bayou, in the mountains, is morally ambiguous because they will kill people to get their shit done.
They have to. This is a fucking hellish world we live in.
Yeah. So to think that somebody that's actually just outright evil wouldn't try and profit off of this, I'm looking at the Statesman first, because the Statesman did it. The only difference is with the Statesman, it wasn't so pronounced in gameplay, which I would have liked to see. But that's not what we got, and that's fine. Because he was sticking bounty tokens down people's throats and sending them into the fucking earth. And I was like, oh shit, that's fucked up. Like,
Yep.
That's messed up. And now we have one that's so blatantly the thing. And also at the same time, I could look at it as Post Malone's character absolutely making fun of the fact that people are still going to come and see the circus. Like, to me, it's just like, man, this is actually like really good. Because again, it's a play on how people try to profit off of tragedy, because that's the Hunt Showdown at its core. Also, not only being horror, but it is a tragedy if you look at the world.
Yep.
So many people died. So, I don't know. I see a lot of themes here. They may be unintended. They may be intended. Who knows? This is what I'm getting from it. And I love the feeling, because I haven't felt this way probably since the Tides trilogy, like as far as like just the feel. But let's have fun with it. I'm saying, it's like, let's have a good time.
I agree, Deadman. So they're also adding some more stuff like Krag silencer, silenced Sparks pistol silencer. I don't really feel like touching on that, to be honest. We'll all see this, the new repeating crossbow they're adding, which is definitely not as powerful as people were worried about based on the visuals they showed us in the video.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure short range it'll be powerful, but you can't ADS with it.
Right.
But
so that'll actually be essentially all that they're adding during the event that we know of right now. You got the Ursa Mortis. Oh, I mean, obviously you've got skins, right? Like, but the Post Malone, the Ringmaster, Post Malone, he's gonna be there as your
king.
Oh,
he's got
you're
two.
Right. Oh, you're right. Yeah, he has his Ringmaster skin, and then his Deposed King after the circus fell through.
From what I know, that was actually him before the circus.
Oh, right, because based on the Ballad of Post Malone, that was him wandering before people followed him, and he created the circus.
Yep. So it's fun. I think it's gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be fun.
I think it's definitely gonna be interesting.
So yeah, and the new weapons are the new weapons. Like what is it in carbine aperture? Okay. I don't remember who said it, but I know somebody in the Discord was like wanting a scope on that thing, and I was like, dude, put a scope on that fucking gun. But I did say, hey, an aperture could work. I do remember, I think, talking about it. I was like, I would love to see a bayonet of it, and I'm sure the bayonet will come down the line. The aperture, getting it there, cool, fair enough. The suppressed weapons are whatever. The only one that honestly, like, just to touch on it just a tad, the only one that's honestly worrisome to me might be the Krag. It just depends. Everything else, though, I'm just like, whatever. Like,
right.
It is what it is. The Sparks pistol's basically its entire fucking... It looks so silly because the whole fucking thing is covered by that fucking suppressor.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, no, ultimately, it is what it is. We'll have to see what it is. We've always had doom and gloom over whatever weapon. So.
And then it almost always ends up being not what everybody was worried about.
Right. And like I said, I think, and I also think, just an interesting kind of side note, because it is part of the event, the subsonic ammo, and the recovery shot. We'll need to talk about that, talk about quality of life. The subsonic ammo, I think, is going to change how suppressors work.
Mm.
And because, before you couldn't really hear it. Now what I'm thinking is that if a gun does not have subsonic ammo in it, and it's a suppressed weapon, because I don't know why else you would use subsonic ammo. If it does not have the suppressors in it, or the subsonic ammo in a suppressed weapon, it is going to make a louder sound than it does normally. This is my theory crafting here. And subsonic ammo gives you the current sound effect of the suppressed weapons, thereby nerfing the suppressed weapons, but also giving a reason to have the slow velocity or whatever.
Right.
So that could be interesting. Again, we'll have to see how it works, see what other notes they put out there, but we'll see.
God, dude, I'm unironically so excited for this event, dude.
Oh yeah, I am too.
For those of you who are also excited, feel free to join me. Deadman, are you free on the 12th? I haven't even asked you.
Ideally I should be.
All right, cool. So join Deadman and I on the 12th for the live stream celebrating the day one release of Post Malone's Murder Circus. We don't have a set time yet. Hop in the Discord, follow, subscribe, all that stuff to get more information about it. But it's going to be a lot of fun. They're probably going to do Twitch drops. If they do Twitch drops, I won't have those because I stream on YouTube. Fuck, I'm sorry for mentioning that. But
wait, are there Twitch drops this round?
I don't know. They usually do.
They usually do, but I think this is a longer event, so they might wait. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. They might wait until people stop playing and then do it again. Hey,
which I'm hoping.
Hey, it's good. Hey, that's good business.
It is good business. No, like, honestly, I'm just like, go for it. Like, but I think for this event, what this says to me, if they're not doing Twitch drops, they're like very confident and they want people playing the game.
Dude, they have been preaching to the choir that this is going to be their biggest event ever, and I genuinely believe it.
I agree. Well, and the thing is that, and we were talking about this a little bit before the podcast. I've been a part of every event.
Yep.
Every single hunt event. And this genuinely feels like the best one. Like, well, not the best one. This feels like the biggest one, like the most shit that's going to be going on in it, because they said, even in the dev update video, hey, that's all we have to show for now. It's like, all right, what are you hiding? Keep your secrets, but fuck you. What are you hiding? Like, I'm not thinking we're going to get like a surprise mob. If we did, that would be badass.
Bro, I'm just saying, when the event's over, leave the circus zombies in here sporadically, randomly. Leave the circus mobs in. It'll be funny.
Honestly, I would like to see, you remember how they did the wildcard weekends?
Yeah.
I would love for them to do circus weekends.
Oh, that would be cute. That'd be fun.
Like circuses in town kind of shit.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Deadman, you're cooking.
Yeah.
Deadman, they should hire you, man. You're cooking. You're cooking, Deadman.
I am looking for a job.
Speaking of jobs, I love these transitions. I just wait until you say a word, and then I'm like, speaking of that word, I have the 12th off. I took it off from work. My new job's been going okay. Thank you for those who've reached out to see how I'm doing. I've been very busy. I didn't want to. I had to put out a community post. I felt bad, like, doom posting with a negative video and then literally going radio silent on the channel the entire week for 7 fucking days because I was just busy. I'm busy with the new job and I have to focus on that right now in my life. So I apologize for doom posting and then dipping out. I wasn't trying to chase views. I do still love Hunt. I've just been very busy. So this is me trying to integrate content creation into my life, and it is not easy. So give me some time. We'll figure this out over time, but be there for the 12th, because if you love my content, that is, for now, probably my next thing I'm going to be having going on. And I'm very excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm probably going to go get a fucking Ringmaster costume and wear that on cam. I'm not even kidding. And it'll be a lot of fun. So don't miss that on the 12th. Stay tuned. I'll give you some times later on. But let us know in the comments what you're excited about in this event. Whether it's the Post Malone skins, whether it's the new clown skins, Chum, or
I think
Winky, or you know what? Unfortunately, what people have been freaking out on Twitter about the Clussy, the crazy Harley Quinn clown girl on the fucking wheel.
Yeah, I wonder if she's even going to be a skin.
I don't know why they would make the entire model and rigging for it if they weren't going to make it a skin.
Nah, maybe.
I think they're just going to sell that one because Crytek, it's Clussy, dude. They Crytek knows people will buy it, right? Does it honk? Of course it does. Like, yeah.
Dude, bro,
they know.
Bro
people
really
will
just
buy
said
it.
Clussy on God's podcast, bro. Like the fuck.
On the Godcast. My fucking bad. Yeah. No, unironically, Crytek knows people will buy it, so I'm sure they're gonna keep it as a separate purchase and not part of the Battle Pass, which is smart business.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. You're never gonna get me saying Clussy out of your mind, everybody. Get fucked.
Yeah, fuck you.
But let us know what you're most excited about in the comments. What you're most concerned about, what you're looking forward to, what you want to see in the event. Because again, we haven't seen everything. There's new stuff coming. Speaking of which, I have to mention it because people have been tweaking about it. They're adding a restorative shot that'll restore a burnt health chunk, which is crazy, bro.
Dude, that's quality of life.
Come on, man. Well, imagine you get up, you get mollywopped in a fight, you get up, and then all of a sudden, oh, I can just get my health bar back? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, and it's once. Like, that's
once
what people
can carry 4 shots.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a choice. that's a choice to make. I could think of other things like, not fucking dying, but
all right.
But there's also, yeah, I mean, that's facetious. Everybody dies in Hunt. But the thing I like about it is that it is going to make non-event times suck less because everybody has so much fun getting the shots or like getting their bars back. It's like, hey, I went down once. All right, cool. I'm at a complete disadvantage to at least half of the guns in the game.
Right.
And it's going to keep people in the matches more. Like, I might actually change my shit up. I don't know yet.
You know what? I don't disagree because I've had plenty of people I play with where the moment they're down 1 health chunk, they're like, all right, we need to leave. And I'm like, this is boring, dude. Like, I want to go fight people. I want to play the match.
Right. And you can't always do that.
Like, I get a Maynard one-shots you now, but fuck, dude, I want to play the game.
Yeah. And this will help with that. And I know people are kind of like, ugh. But I'm just like, dude, like, they can't just stick because the other side of it is, it's a balanced version of that, of the med kit. Like,
right.
Imagine the med kit just being in normal play, non-event, right?
Yep.
That would kind of, I don't want to say break it, but it would cheapen death a little bit. This is a very non-event way to deal with that. Because not only would it change up a consumable? Sure, probably. But if there's a player who's more support, who likes to kind of sit back, like say in a duo, and somebody gets got, and then person 2 clutches up. Person 1 doesn't have the shot, but only went down once. Didn't get burned, luckily. But person 2 was like, hey, I have the shot. Bar back. Now, and that was at the beginning of the match. Beginning of a 45-minute match. Now, because some people do leave, like you said. It's like, well, fuck. Like, because beginning of the match, you're in a long firefight, takes 10 minutes, whatever, right? Boss finish happens 2 minutes in. And you finish out the fight. They haven't moved because they're fighting the rest of the server. You were down here fighting Chucklefuck 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And now you can hit that shot and possibly go intervene.
Yep.
So I feel like it's paying for, one, a trait point that you don't have to pay for anyway. And then on top of that, having that, again, more quality of life for normal Hunt in the sense of like, I don't feel useless in a fight. Because there's sometimes like, I'm a mad lad, so I'll go up again. I've been going up against Mosins since tier 1s had 100 health. So, whatever.
Yeah.
Like Winnies could down you, basically. But again, I'm looking at it as more of an onboarding tool at this point. Like, hey, this shot here can bring back a health bar if you go down and you're able to get back up. Because that's the other thing. It's useless for solos. Well, not entirely useless, but you have to fumble pretty hard.
You gotta fuck up, bro.
Yeah, like you really got to fuck up as a solo, which, you know, it happens. I'm not saying that y'all don't exist out there. But that's the other thing, is that it's not a useful tool for solos. Would have been handy when I was fucking running solo Necro where we could get up 5-6 times. But
yeah. Oh, so everybody's so happy that it's not a thing anymore. Can't blame you.
no, and I can't either. And the thing is that what I believed at the time, and I still do believe, I like this change better. I thought Necro was fine before. And again, keyword, fine. It's better now. And I'll stand by that. I'll stand by both points. I can like both points. I like new Necro better than old Necro. Because I feel like, one, I have a fighting chance in close quarters. Because you're still going to get blasted with a shotgun. But if it was a rifle, it's very, you know, unless this person is like super cracked, you know, we get 1 5-second stand up and that's it. Versus the 8, 6, whatever. You know, whatever it was. I'm sure I have a clip somewhere of me getting up like 7 times and fucking slowly whittling them down.
Probably.
So, but yeah.
Seen it.
Oh, I know. But yeah, no, I think it's interesting. They're adding good stuff. I think they're definitely starting to, because I feel like, and this might be a hot take, but I think they have kind of peaked with their normal firearms.
Yep.
And now we're kind of getting into the weirder side of hunt. It took a long time, but I think we are getting into the weirder side of hunt, and I'm here for that. Let's go hunt zombies and crush their skulls with our brains.
But Deadman, hunt is becoming less realistic.
Yeah, because most of these guns wouldn't fucking jam from the fucking heat alone in Louisiana. Jesus Christ, bro.
I know. Stuff like the drilling, the gun would just explode.
Not even that. Honestly, you want to talk about realism? Where's the realism of when I jump off of a ledge, hit the ground really hard, and my pistol goes off and shoots me in the foot?
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. The gunplay is grounded. They've always said that it's grounded, tad more on the realistic side, but these guns do not realistically work the same way that they did back in the day. There was a lot of misfires. There was a lot of mishaps. You know, not saying that there weren't some guns out there, but I can't imagine that Terminus, when you're levering it like that, does not jam.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way in hell that gun doesn't jam. There's no way the fucking Winnie doesn't jam. But you can clear the jam, but then we're getting into Tarkov territory. Like, you got to pick and choose your battles with realism. I don't necessarily like realistic games. I do like when things feel good, and Hunt's gunplay has always felt amazing.
Right.
So, because also I don't think they had fucking frag arrows back then, or explosive crossbow bolts. Like, I don't think people were using that in 1895, 1896 Louisiana. And the poison bolts? How does that work? That's totally video gaming.
With you.
So, and the dragon's breath shell on the hand crossbow that people are really fond of right now, that wouldn't work. That distinctly has the firebomb sound, and it's a fucking shotgun shell.
Yep.
So, again, pick and choose your battles with realism. And if you want realism, there are games for that. I think specifically Arma is one. But, you know, the gunplay's fine. And that's what I'll say. Because this isn't a balanced topic. This is about the event, and we're going to have fun with it.
I fucking agree, Deadman. But, unironically, folks, I apologize. We didn't have a lot to talk about. Listen,
Yeah.
The event is huge. Don't get me wrong. But that is literally all that's happening at Hunt right now, is waiting for this event next week.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and the other side of it is that, like, we could talk about other events and stuff, but we have talked about it a lot previously.
We really
and
have.
you could sum it up as, I like being somebody who's watched the entire evolution of Hunt events. Hunt events started as Butcher had pumpkin on head,
Literally.
Spider had at Christmas.
Literally. That was it.
That's it. That was it. And now we're getting a full-blown, granted, because some people uninstalled for this reason, a full-blown celebrity who enjoys playing Hunt into the game and having guns that are specifically tied to the event, or a weapon, I should say. I wouldn't call it a gun. That thing launches a fucking saw blade. But we have all of this cool stuff that is going to actually, like, it seems like it's fun. Like, messing with doors with our mind, crushing skulls with our brain, pulling arrows out of people from long ranges. I can't wait for that, the first clip of that. somebody hits him with an arrow, doesn't kill him, but it immediately goes in the dark side and pulls it out.
Oh my god, it's gonna be fucking crazy.
It's gonna be hilarious. But that's the point. You gotta go into it having fun. Because if you don't go into it having fun, you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna complain about how the game isn't how it felt 4 years ago. And I was like, I'm not complaining how it felt 4 years ago, because there was a lot of bullshit 4 years ago. Hell, there was a lot of bullshit when the game first launched. But you got to go into it with a more positive mindset. You can absolutely criticize the game and still be positive about it. Me and Horse, even in the Discord, on the podcast, wherever, in videos even, we have criticized Crytek openly. There are other creators that do criticize it openly, some more healthy than others. But, Hunt's not perfect. But name me a game that's perfect.
League of Legends.
Oh my god, I swear to God, if you ever say that to me again, I will fucking hit you with a hatchet.
Oh, bro.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, that's the takeaway. Because there was an accusation of toxic positivity on more than one occasion, and
yeah, we had a guy leave the server eventually because of the toxic positivity, even though I literally criticized the game.
Yeah, no, and the thing is that if you can't offer a change constructively, and what I mean by constructively, because some people take constructively and think, oh yeah, let's just revert it. No, that's not constructive. That's not how this works. That's not how programming works. They left the old system behind for a reason. They wanted to make the game better. Granted, we've talked about the UI to death. It is a boring topic. They're not going to do it. What they're going to do is that eventually it's going to be like the old UI. They're going to hone it, and eventually we'll forget the UI argument ever existed. Except to laugh at it, because it's like, holy shit, that UI was dog shit. The old UI was dog shit too, but y'all don't want to fucking talk about that. So, at the end of the day, criticize, but if you can't criticize from a healthy place, the best bet, honestly, may even in some cases be to leave the game, and some people are like, well, why would you say that? That's not a constructive thing. It's we're not saying that, but we don't know what else to offer you, bro. Don't play the game if it gets you that twisted up.
I agree completely.
Again, there's games I've left because it got me twisted up to talk about them. But now I've come to a place where I can enjoy the times that I had with that game. Or games. Fucking Destiny was one. I'll use a different example rather than Final Fantasy 14. But Destiny, I came back. I think I played Destiny 2 on launch for an hour. And I was like, I'm not really feeling this. Whatever. I came back for the final fucking expansion and had a goddamn blast with it. Put a couple 100 hours into it over the summer. In between playing Hunt and playing Destiny. So maybe you just need to take a step back. And I know I've told people that before. Horse is known. I've told that to people since I've been in his server. Sometimes you need to go touch grass or play a different game. Go play Marvel Rivals. That shit's fun as fuck.
Oh my god. I wasn't going to talk about Rivals in the cast. Fuck, you want to play Rivals after this? You busy?
No, I don't think I'm busy.
Fuck yeah, dude. Rivals is so much fun.
It is. I'll see if I don't remember if Jaeger's working, but I know she wanted to play some more today because we were playing pretty late.
Oh yeah.
So I'm down. Let's fucking go. I'll fucking Captain America.
Well, let's finish up our Hunt podcast before we go play Marvel Rivals.
That sounds so fucking ridiculous and out of context. It's oh yeah, we just got done talking about how excited we are for Hunt, and then we're gonna go play Marvel Rivals. Disclaimer for anybody who is listening to in the future. I'm talking to the future you. This is the past me. Hunt's event is not coming out until Thursday. It is Sunday. So we're on the 8th. It is the 12th that is coming out. This will probably be out on the 9th, depending.
Yep.
So we are taking a healthy break from Hunt in order to just have as much fun with the event as possible. I'm also probably going to play Dark Souls today if everybody really wants to know my itinerary.
Oh my god. Well, folks, if you haven't been excited for Hunt, you should be now. Fuck it. Goddamn, I don't even want to do lore, man. Fuck. There's nothing to fucking talk about right now besides doing that.
Well, the thing is that we weren't prepared for the lore segment, and
I'll admit that. Yeah, we're unprepared.
Yeah, this was more of, man, Do we really want to talk about this? Yes, we do. Okay. Like,
we had to talk about the event, and I really wanted to put out some type of video, so this was the best we could do on short notice.
yeah. No, and we'll get back to lore. We got, like, honestly, digging up lore takes a lot. I want to see what they do with the lore for this event, because it does seem to be very lore heavy. The last one wasn't. It was noticeably absent. Which honestly I was kind of okay with, in the sense that I liked that it wasn't in the battle pass, because it felt like I wasn't getting filler levels.
Yeah.
So I hope if they have lore, it's separate. If it's back in the battle pass, whatever, I don't care. But also the event was noticeably shorter. So
Yeah. Very short.
So that being said, I have said my piece for today, and I will arise back on Thursday.
As if I. Make sure to join the Discord, follow around, everything. You're not going to want to miss the wonderful stream on the launch day of the event. Deadman, where can people find you?
Like I said, like I always say right now, I have Deadman's Howl on YouTube. There's not really much going on there right now, but I am in Hunter's Lodge a lot. I've talked with a couple of people. I'm going to be playing with a couple of people throughout the event. And I won't always be available, but if anybody wants to fucking tag me and say, hey, I want to, like, even new players, I think, what was it, Holly Jolly, I think?
Yep.
Yeah, I just added them, and I'm going to teach them my 4,000 plus experience, what I can, because it's always fun. So, but I do know I have...
We try to be very welcoming to new players, so if you're ever interested in getting into Hunt, you've thought about it, you haven't tried it, please hop in the Discord. We got a ton of people in there that would love to help you out.
Yeah, and we have roles now, so make it easier for match.
All right. Yeah, we have basic roles, basic functionality in the Discord. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, there were, like, I feel like the looking for group is more of a recent thing.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
Before, people would just kind of hop in whenever, like, hey, who wants to play Hunt? And people would just kind of hop in now.
True, but then 100 people fucking hop in the Discord, and then I'm like, all right, well, I guess I need stuff.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and yeah, we'll be running around on Thursday. Might drag one of my other friends into it too, but
all right, folks, thank you for watching Between the Hunt today. This has been Horse and Monsieur Deadman. Please look forward to the new event coming out for Hunt. It's going to be a banger. And most of all, stay blessed.